Hi, Peaceful Nick the Medium. Welcome, welcome. Let me know you are here. Let's get some light. My hair's a mess. Hello, hello. You know what bugs me? My vent in the ceiling. Always bugs me. Always bugs me. Let's open the lappy toppy. See what we can see. Hi. Sending you the invite, darling. Darlings. Hi, Carol. Say hi. Hello, beautiful.
Me and my wild hair tonight.
I love your wild hair. I love we have the same curls.
We
For
do.
anybody who doesn't know us, we both have the same curls.
We got witchy
Oh,
curls.
yeah, and somebody the other day asked me on TikTok if I had a perm, and I'm like, nope.
I say
natural.
that. Yeah, I say that God gave me this perm. So
That's what I used to say.
whoever that
That's what I always used to say. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Carol. Now I just wanted to make sure we could see comments. And sometimes it lets me comment. Souls and spirits.com. Is that your website?
Yes.
All right. Put that in and everybody knows. Hello. If you're here, say hi. Hi, Julie. Can you see the comments? Hi, Melody.
I don't know that I can see comments. Let's see.
Just kind of.
Oh, there they are. Okay, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Starting
Now
to see them now.
sometimes I'll be on here with Kathy and I'll press a button and I knock myself off. So if that happens, just come back. So we have on Sunday night a big gallery. Well, it's a small, intimate gallery, but it is an Oracle and Tarot card gallery. You can sign up on my website. It's only $15 and everyone is guaranteed a reading. So
It's gonna be
tell everyone about your history with tarot and spiritual guidance.
Oh gosh. Well, years ago when I was living in Los Angeles, I was about, I don't know, 22 years old. I was attracted to a very famous store in Ventura Boulevard called the Psychic Eye. And my mom had just learned a Rider-Waite deck and she fell in love with the cards. And I thought, oh, how fun. Like, I want to go see what they've got. Yes, there we go. I made my own eventually. Much easier to learn. And picked up a Witch's Tarot deck. It was fascinating. I learned that. I used that for many years until they were literally worn out and wearing away. And then I thought, well, I'm an artist. Why don't I just create my own deck? So kind of did that about I don't know, 7 years ago. I guess I did that.
I think it was longer than
it
that.
might 7 to 10 years ago, I guess. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I'm redoing some of these cards now, and I'm going to be republishing a deck for sale coming up here in the next few months. So they will be for sale on my website, soulsandspirits.com, starting probably around, I would say, early March. Give me another month or two. But it's a 55 card deck that I've created a little bit differently than the Rider-Waite, which the suit cards represent 4 different personalities. Mine are Master and Apprentice. So
yeah, last time I don't know if my eyesight's going bad, but show some with kind of with a little more contrast because it's hard. There, that's a good one.
Yeah.
What's that one?
So a Master of the World.
Hi, Eileen.
A master would be someone who's 45 and up, more intellectually mature, and then an apprentice would be somebody who's younger than 45. And the world would be somebody who is super multi-talented in many ways, super emotionally mature, intuitive, can handle both intellectual, spiritual, magical, creative, rational sides of a very balanced and worldly person, as where a master of or an apprentice, let's say, of one of the suit cards, an apprentice of hearts or cups would be a relationship person, would be like a total people person.
I have a question about apprentice. Is that the same as page?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yep, exactly. And I've simplified the deck to kind of reflect that it's so if you wanted to purchase this deck and you're like a beginner reader, it's so easy. It comes with a little booklet, tells you the meaning of every card. and the meanings are actually printed on the card. So if you pull, like, for instance, this intuition, and it's upside down in the deck, it would mean you've got to kind of, straighten up your intuition, pay attention to it,
Okay.
clean it up a little bit. So it's the same as any deck that you would read. Reversal is the reverse meaning of the card. But of course, as you know, the cards go together in the spread. So even though the meaning is printed on the card, like your oracle cards are, depending on where they are in the deck, depends on, how the reading will turn out, the full story. Yeah. So it's not as easy as just going, well, it's just, okay, strength and healing, and we're going through transition. No, like it really comes together detailed. So when we give you all a reading, if you join our our gallery, it's very detailed and in depth. It's not just reading a meaning on a card. It's so much more than that, as you know, Nicole.
So like right now, until I get a copy of your cards in my hands, which I've seen them before, but it was a long time ago. Like, oh, how funny. Sagittarius, that's my sign. That's the card that I just pulled. So let's say you get a Sagittarius, which is expand. I'm just giving everyone an example. Now, these are oracle cards, not tarot. I'm just giving an example. Said expand, cultivate, and digest. So if these three cards popped out for somebody and they had a question about a work problem, and they didn't know whether to go one way or the other with this work problem, they should digest the information, think about it, expand their mind into whatever area they need to understand this information, and then cultivate the outcome they want. Now, that's a very short, brief story I just told with these three cards, but basically that's how all cards work. Every situation is different, and we weave them together to tell a story. That's why you can get the same three cards in a different order with a different question, and it has a different story.
Right. And also that reflects on the positions of the cards. So if the cards are in a near future, a 3-card spread is a little bit different for everyone. I still read, for the gallery, I will read a full, Celtic cross spread. So I get into real detail.
Big spread.
It is a 10 card, I think. Of course, there are variations. You can do an express Celtic. You can do, like I said, a 3-card. You can flip a 1 card, which is, kind of what we do here. But either way, the cards always pertain to the person that they're meant for, in regard to the question. And I've never pulled or read a spread that was not relevant for the actual person it was meant for. And it just super resonates. It's amazing how just a simple card with imagery and energy behind it can be so accurate in someone's immediate situation. It's fascinating.
I'll give you an example of that very thing. And hello, everybody who's joining. Welcome. I'm Nicole, or Peaceful Nick, and this is Lisa, or Lady Shadowe. We're just talking about our gallery. We're going to do Sunday night and tarot and oracle card stuff. So feel free to comment and ask us any questions you like. I have a friend that I knew from 40 years ago, and I hadn't seen her in a long time, probably since 40 years ago. But I saw her on Facebook. I knew she was married, but she asked, and I knew she had kids. That's about all I knew about her. She asked me for a tarot reading, and one of the cards was the Lover's card, and I'm like,
what?
I know
I have to tell this person this. Yeah.
Oh no. And she goes, you won't believe this. She told me after the end, because I don't ask any questions at the beginning. I just see what the cards say and interpret them.
Yeah.
And then they tell me, what the story is for them, like how it applies to them, or ask me follow-up questions.
Yep.
And she is contemplating heavily getting a divorce and has a new friend.
Crazy.
And she goes, you're not going to believe it. And it's like, that's what
exactly.
I never thought I'd be reading cards. And I have a little itch right here. I don't know what I did, but I'm itching. I never thought I'd be reading cards, just like I never thought I'd be a medium.
Yeah.
And boy, when they fall out, it blows my mind every time.
Yeah. And
Jill has a question, Lisa.
Okay. Are cards really true?
Are they really
true? The cards are as true as walking around on the earth and seeing each other. And another thing we have to understand is everything's energy. Cards are energy, bodies are energy. This wall is energy. Even though it's matter and it's squished together and it seems solid, it's not. It's just a bunch of energy particles stuck together and kind of trapped. But
Exactly.
it's not actual matter. In fact,
That's
we could even go deeper and say everything is an illusion, right? Because we don't know if we're in a simulation or what it is we're in, right? We all have different ideas about that. But the cards, I have a similar story to you. My friend in Los Angeles was dating a gentleman. They were about 9 months in, and she asked me for a reading. And the deck that I was using was the same we talked about earlier. And again, a situation that I didn't know well. They were dating. Like, I didn't really hang out with him much. It was a separate thing. We worked together. And the fertility card came up also with the lovers, the tower. I was like, oh no. And I said, do you really want me to be as honest as I can, but also giving you a lot of insight on how to be careful going forward? She's like, absolutely. I said, well, there's a pregnancy here. And again, the way the fertility card was in the reading, in the immediate situation, I said, oh no, this is like an immediate situation you have to address. And she said, Leaf, you're not going to believe this, but he just told me that he had slept with his ex-girlfriend and she got pregnant and they broke up a month later. So everything in that reading was completely accurate. Same exact situation as you. And the deck that I have in my hand, I never read for myself. It's a service deck. It's for others only. And which means that it doesn't have my energy all over it, other than the fact that I created it, right? And that helps me intuitively tap into everybody else who needs the intuition that we have to offer. So this is all for you all, and so when I send it out to the world that I'm here for you, and I'm here for our watchers and people who need a little guidance. It's extraordinary how you can barely know someone for just a short amount of time and just be able to jump in and be able to determine what's going on and offer some really cool thing. Now, you also, I'm sure, don't read fixed fates. We read honest fates. We read honest, depictions and intuition and guidance. But we're not here to scare anyone and say,
no,
okay, this is your fate, where it's going, that's it.
no.
We're here to say that all these paths where you could be headed can be changeable. But a lot of people can appreciate the warnings, right?
Yeah.
So it's so nice to get a warning and saying, I'm not sure about this guy. I'm not sure about the situation. I'm not sure about my job. Get a little insight on that, and then boom, everything changes. It's so nice to have, a little bit of, like going into a therapy office. You work out your problems with a mediator. This is a spiritual way of doing that. And so it's super helpful for people who are open to it.
I want to say one more thing before we answer Jill's next question. You can have the same spread for two different people, even on the same day, that mean two very different things.
Absolutely.
Because the energy of the reading, and readings work through Zoom, they work through FaceTime, they work electronically. I was fully trained on Zoom to be a medium, and all of my other trainings have happened on Zoom or some type of electronic device. And 99% of all of my readings have been through the internet. And it is absolutely no different, because what you were saying earlier about everything is an illusion. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a scientist. And my bachelor's degree is biology, my master's degree is astronomy. And I'll just draw these two little atoms. I'm taking you back to chemistry class. Two little atoms. The nucleus is protons and neutrons, protons and neutrons. And I'm going to draw their electron clouds. The electron clouds are way far away, and they're teeny tiny, and they're just moving energy, and they connect everything together. So
Yeah.
every part of your body, the phone you're looking at, the computer, is a bunch of these fuzzy clouds of electron energy. And the only reason we have mass is because of the cloud is moving, and it's moving so fast that it's sticking everything together. But if those things stopped, everything we know would fall apart and be nothing. It wouldn't even be mush. It would
Yeah.
just be atoms floating in space.
Yeah.
So everything is an illusion, and that's not metaphysical. That is actual science, 100% accurate. Imagine
Mhm.
in the old days we had fans, and if you threw something at a fan, it bounced back, right? Remember when fans were open and you could stick your finger in it?
Yeah.
Uh, the good old days, the 70s. Now everything's got a shield over it. You can throw a marble at a fan, it's going to bounce back and hit you because the fan's moving.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
stop the fan and you throw the marble and it goes through the blades
Yep.
because it
Yep.
stopped moving. It's the same thing with electrons in all
Yes.
matter. It just
Yes.
fall right apart if it stops moving. Okay,
Absolutely.
I got on my little science rant. Sorry.
And you have a couple of questions that I saw. Something about cards being gifted. And then there was, I think, a question maybe before that. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you catch those.
Jill said, I need guidance. I just moved out of a house. The woman was like the devil.
Oh.
Do a clearing, do a saging,
Mm-hmm.
do the salt around the
Yep.
house.
Yep.
Go on Google how to clear a house of negative energy. You'll find a million different ways to do
And
that.
also another way to just heal that. And because I teach white Wicca. I only teach white magic, love magic. Everything's based in love. There, I don't do revenge, dark magic, none of that. No need, because love is the highest vibrating,
Yep.
energetic, feeling energy in the universe. So why would you play with anything more? And if you the darker witches and the darker stuff that gets on the side that seeps out and in to our world, um, that's all just the ego, right? So
Mm-hmm.
really, if you're playing with anything dark and you stay in the light, you can't go wrong. So as the magical as we're talking about beautiful cards, this is all based in love. So somebody was just talking about, okay, yeah, so clearing. So not only is it a clearing thing that you can do physically, aromatically, with scents and all of your different senses, but to wish that person who is obviously living in a very fearful place, because
Yes.
as you know, there's only love and fear. So if someone's going through a lot of negative emotions, that's all fear-based thinking. And it should be looked at really with empathy more than anger or any of that. And it's really hard to process, hey, I got to send love to this person who is in a really rude, mean, horrifying
Right.
place to people and to their property,
Yeah.
and other people's property. But that's the best way to clear your own energy.
Yep.
Keep stress free, fear free out of your world, and send love to that person. The minute you send love and healing, that opens you up to so much more abundance and happy energy, and you can carry on better. So clearing is not just ritualistic, but it's just like, oh my gosh, that person is suffering inside, I have to send them love, just like if they're going through,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Anybody who is that way is suffering
suffering.
terribly and they're projecting onto other people. Did I tell the story about the grocery store lady last time we were live?
I don't think so.
So I was at the grocery store last weekend or the weekend before, and the lady in front of me was irate. She was the first person in line. It was like 8 in the morning. It
Yep.
was not crowded.
Yep.
And I was behind her. She was mad because the manager was talking to an employee and he wasn't bagging her groceries fast enough. So she was like the devil in that moment. She was losing her mind. So the
Oh
manager
no.
kissed her butt, took her groceries out, and then the people at the checkout, the cashier and the bag boy, apologized to me. I said, no need. I said, first of
Oh
all, that was quite entertaining because I'm in the house a lot.
yeah.
And secondly, all you can do is send her
Yeah.
blessings. That's her energy. She's not affecting me at all.
Right.
You shouldn't let it affect you. So you have to have boundaries like that.
Boundaries
Somebody,
and extra
Jill
healing
said,
to send. Yeah.
yeah. Send her healing and love.
Yep.
Always send healing and love. And it is hard sometimes.
It
It
is
is hard.
so
Yeah,
hard.
but you have to do it when we're in the right state of mind. We have to do it.
Absolutely.
Jill said we're beautiful, both of
Oh,
us, so thank you very
thank you,
much.
Jill. I'm sure you're
everybody
amazingly beautiful yourself.
everybody loves a compliment. Eileen said, I was told the cards need to be gifted to you. Is that
Mm.
correct?
Okay, so it is correct. If you are somebody who wouldn't normally pick up a deck and somebody senses that it's for you, right? So, like for instance, you and I have been friends for a long time, and if we had not gone into more of this field and made this more of a part full-time thing, where because we generally, you and I have always been very spiritual people, but now we're kind of doing it more, more full-time.
Professionally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So knowing you, I might say, oh my gosh, these cards are perfect, because now there's hundreds of decks to choose from,
Yeah.
and you go through, to a store, and you're attracted to a deck, not necessarily for you, but for someone else. So it's very powerful with you if you find a deck or run into something that that inspires you to, that energy, to give that to the person receiving them. Yes. However, if you're drawn to them on your own, like I was and like you were, that's the same thing as getting the gift from the universe, right? So your
Oh,
inner self
okay.
is saying,
Okay.
this is a gift, you have a gift, you need to divinate through this type of visual oracle, right? So the gift is the same whether received or given, person to person, or
Yeah.
universe to
I
heart and mind. Yeah.
have a follow-up. So you're saying initially, if someone gives you a gift of cards, that is a gift, like maybe you need to start trying to use
Yes.
this tool.
Yes.
But
Or yeah,
like,
or just that I feel like, hey, you would be great
yeah,
like doing this.
okay.
You
But
have the
otherwise,
intuition, right? Otherwise,
if
if
you
you pick
buy
it
them
up, look around.
yourself, like
Yeah.
I've bought all of mine just because I asked my other friend who's a tarot
Mhm.
reader, also Abby, some of you've met her on here, and she told me which ones to buy,
Yeah.
generally the Rider Waite deck. And I don't go out a lot because I'm at home all the time. So, but I did find a witchy store in the still room here, and I've bought a couple of decks from there, which is awesome.
Yeah,
So,
and the cool thing is, if you are in the market, I mean, you can go online and look at them too. They'll be drawn to you just the same, because like you said, there are no barriers. Whether you're like, if someone tuned in to us from England versus New Zealand, or right here in our backyard in our same city, energy is just as close. Tuning in is like a snap,
yep,
whether you are online or in person, right? So the cards are the same way. If you go shopping
yep,
online for a pair or a deck or whatever it is, if you go and make one like I did after having a few decks that I've gone through. Or if you go into a store, a bookstore has them now,
yeah.
generally in like the occult section. So you could just go through and just look at the imagery, and whatever resonates with you, that's what you're going to pick.
Yeah, and
So
it's the same, like when I go into a store, I'll just get, I don't know if the color brightens or
yeah,
something, like they're just a little bit brighter, a little bit different than the other things, and it just draws me in.
yeah,
Um
yeah.
yeah, I love that. Um
Absolutely. We forget that when we speak about gifts, we often forget that, we can give gifts to ourselves. Well, it needs to be from another person, or we're giving to another, but it's also that we can give ourselves gifts as well. Like, that's so important to remember.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just reading through the comments. We answered Jill. Hi, Karina. Lots of thank yous, entertaining.
I'm
Thanks,
attracted to most
thanks,
of
Brent. Um, Jill said I sent her love to her and took my energy back and gave her hers back. Perfect. Very good.
Yes, that's perfect. The perfect way to handle negative people. And when people act out in public or anywhere, it's a cry for love. So we have
Absolutely.
to really remember that, as much as our egos can be bothered with that energy, and sometimes you do have to walk away because it can be very violent, it can be very
Mhm.
built up and dangerous, but most of the time it's just somebody needs a hug and a release. So if we can be there, gift a smile, whatever you can do, it's so helpful
Even
to
a
people.
silent prayer.
Yeah.
And be present. So sometimes we're in a situation where a family member or a loved one or a close friend is in our living environment for some period of time. They're visiting, or you're at their house or whatever. And all of a sudden somebody kind of loses their head a little bit. Don't engage. Don't
Don't engage.
engage. If you can leave the property, leave. If it's
Yeah.
safe to leave, leave.
Yeah.
Otherwise, don't. Now, if they're violent and you are threatened, call 911 and order a pizza, and they'll know what that means. That's the thing that they do. You say you need
Wow.
to order a pizza, and they come.
Really?
Yes, you call 911.
Wow.
You tell the person this is for domestic
Right, right.
violence.
Oh, for the
Yeah,
serious. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
You
Okay.
when you're like, okay, I'm gonna order a pizza for dinner,
Right, right,
and you
right.
call, and then they
You call
know.
911
Yeah.
instead. Yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah.
So
I haven't heard
yeah,
that one. That's
yeah.
good to know.
I learned it
Yeah.
on TikTok.
TikTok's good for something, right?
Yeah, it has some good
It
sides
has some
to
good
it.
sides. Yeah.
Um, Jill said I bought all mine. That's good. Yeah, that's fine. You answered. Okay, that is my problem. I am attracted to most of them. I know it's a
It's
problem.
hard.
She has over
And I guess
100 decks.
that's amazing. I know a couple people that collect decks from around the world too. And the cool thing is, if you're just a collector and you just like the visual part, and you can even like decorate a room with them or something, right? But if you want to learn a deck, just pick the one that's like easiest and that they just all resonate, and you can just look at them and you just understand what they mean.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to make a choice,
Yeah,
that's
like this deck is my favorite deck. This is the one I use the most.
Yeah.
The Astro, but the book is what it is even better than the
Yeah.
cards because the details it gives.
Yeah.
Like, and it gives a scientific description at the beginning and then an action and then a challenge and then a gift, and I just love it and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And they're pretty, I mean, look at this card. Like, I mean, I just can't even say enough about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. Like,
And
look
see,
at that.
and we're visual people, right? So the cards are great divination tools for that reason, because you see visually your card. Like I could pull a random, okay, here's, oh, I love this one. I designed these. So this is one of my favorite ones I designed. Look at this. This is a healing card.
That's
And
gorgeous.
and I see that, and I just immediately go into healing mode just looking at
Yeah.
it. You know, these are my favorite colors, like the super light pastels. They're just magical for me. But you know, if I'm reading for someone and they're across the table and they see that, they're just like, and just seeing that for a couple of seconds, minus the ambiance and the incense going and all of the other calming, peaceful things that I do prepare for a reading, just the visual part just sets somebody into a really nice place, and that's where you want them in a reading.
Yeah.
Open and relaxed and calm and not scared and not stressed out or fearful. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to address Susan. Susan, when we get there, we will. You don't have to keep commenting. We'll let you know when we get there, okay? Don't keep commenting, please. And then Trent said, what's the 911 if it's like 3 in the morning? Well, I guess it depends where you are. If you're in a big city, there's 24-hour pizza places. I don't know the answer if you're like in some BFE place,
Yeah.
like out in the middle of nowhere. I really
Maybe a
don't.
7-Eleven. I'm just getting a DoorDash order from 7-Eleven. Like they're usually
Yeah.
open 24/7. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to think quick on your feet in these
Yeah.
situations, and it's
You have
frightening.
to have a plan.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
know you're in a situation where you have been abused repeatedly and you're trying to escape in some way and you get stuck in that position, have a plan.
Yeah.
Have a plan. Have a plan and be ready because you know it's coming.
Yeah.
Abusers don't change overnight with no help.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
It's we wish that on no one. Ugh.
No,
Stay safe
absolutely
out there,
not.
everybody. Stay safe.
Let's see, something else. Michelle has a great question. I have a deck that's not enjoyable to me. Would I
Okay.
gift it to someone or just leave it collecting dust?
It's up to her. If you, I believe in recycling if it's an appropriate thing to recycle. Um, you know that I love shopping on Facebook Marketplace because I hate buying things new, adding to the planet's capacity to break things down. And I'll often just customize it. In fact, there's so many things in my house
Yeah.
customized to save on that. So I would say, yeah, if you don't connect with it, somebody does. Somebody's buying that deck. So
Yeah.
hold on to it until you find the right person to receive it. Yeah.
Yeah. And you could also, if you have a witchy store or metaphysical store near you, you could bring it to them and say, I'd like to donate this
Yeah.
for some, whoever it resonates with, they can have it.
Yeah. Make a spiritual care packet and say, I'd like to donate this to, put it on the register.
Yeah.
Wiccan communities, just like any other communities that want to be a part of a giving community, can do that just the same. Somebody who's in need, who can't afford a deck and wants to get into it. Oh my gosh, what a lovely way. Like these restaurants that will, people will buy a coffee or a platter and put it on the wall and
Yes.
say, come on in for a free meal. If you can't afford one, just pull one out. It's been prepaid. I think that's so beautiful. And you can do that with gifts just the same. Everyone, usually knows where their psychic shops are. And I'm sure that the store owners would be happy to put something together with that. Yeah.
Michelle, I'm 100 miles away from the grocery store in the mid. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like me and where I was raised in Nevada in the hills, where the nearest 7-Eleven was about a 40-minute drive. It was we were in the woods, in the mountains. So I know that
That's
feeling.
far. How
Oh
do
my
you get
gosh.
your
That's
groceries? I have 100 follow-up questions, Michelle. I have 100.
100 miles
From
is
a grocery store or a witchy
over an
store?
hour. Yeah, that's over an hour drive. Wow, that's crazy.
It's got to be a witch. She must have meant a witchy store. I think Nick would love it. It's got spacey
Ooh.
things. Oh my God. Oh my God. I gave a reading yesterday, a mediumship reading. And maybe it was the day before. Anyway, sometime this week. And I kept seeing people in flight suits, like blue flight suits.
Huh.
And for those of you who know me, I'm spacey. And a sphere next to them, a weird sphere. And I tell the lady, and she did have 4 male relatives in the military. 2 were Navy, 2 were Army. And I was like, okay, that's great. And that makes sense. And I took it, check mark on my list. Check, that makes sense. She emailed me back and said she figured out what it was. Where she lives, there are 2 Space Force bases,
Oh,
an Air
wow.
Force base, and some other military base.
Okay.
And they're always have orbs and stuff in, where, because it's Space Force, they're doing some kind of crazy
They're
stuff.
doing some
So
stuff. Yeah.
I was like, whoa, that blew my mind. Like, that's what I love when I get validation after a
Yep.
reading. I love that.
Love that. Love it. So good.
Let's see. Trent said, Michelle, if you want to sell it, I'm interested.
Oh, we can connect some buyers.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Let's
Already making a little community here. That's so awesome.
let's see. Groceries, unless we want to go to Canada. Oh my gosh.
Crazy. So they must live up in like Wisconsin or Upper Michigan, maybe, because there's a Canadian border in the Midwest there. Um, Interesting.
Interesting. You don't have to tell us what town, but I'd love to know where that is.
Yeah, I'd love to know where that is too.
You must have a deep freezer, like
Oof.
a big freezer to keep
You
a
don't even
bunch
need a
of food
freezer
in.
up there. You just stick
Well,
stuff in the yard.
yeah.
We just got back from, as you know, from Paris, and there were not refrigerators in all of our hotel rooms because it's a conservatively, spacious problem with being in these old cities.
Yeah.
So we would open the window and put our cheese and our meats like literally on the ledge. In Paris, almost everything opens without a screen. So we had our groceries sitting out there. Just keep it cold in the actual.
Cold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 30 degrees was perfect.
North
So you got to just
Dakota.
use what you got.
She's in North Dakota.
Stop.
Yeah.
That's close. Yeah,
That
right in
makes
that area.
sense.
That's amazing. I bet she sees the northern lights all the
Yeah.
time. These here were taken in my backyard here in New York. So if you can believe that took place 3 times this year. These spectacular, right outside my yard. It was amazing.
Things are
And
going
I've been chasing these things.
wild.
Things are
Things are
going wild,
wild.
which is why we all need to ground ourselves in love and trust and faith that the collective consciousness will protect us and keep us going. Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot of tumultuous things happening, and that's, I kind of think, where we wanted to go tonight.
Yeah.
Lots of stressors.
Yeah.
Lots of fear.
Yeah.
Lots of fear mongering. I made a video posted to YouTube yesterday or the day before. Turn off the news.
Yes. Yes. Take the time for yourself. You're much you'll be better off just meditating, turning inward, doing some yoga, lighting a candle, putting some great music on. Just take your mind to another place, and don't engage.
Yeah.
Don't engage in all of that, in that media stuff. And I know that, like, we're all on different sides of the coin. We don't have to talk about what side we're on, but we're all one. And no matter who the candidate is in there, we're one with them too.
Yeah.
So we
Good,
have to be
Jill.
okay with all of that.
Yeah.
Right?
It is
We have to be
what it
okay.
is, and we've done what we've
done
done, and this is where
what
we're
we've
at.
done. And we have to accept that we're all parts of each other, even if it's enraging. But we have to let it go and forget.
And we can't control it's out of our hands at this point.
Are you doing your lip gloss right now?
My lips get so dry. Well, I had the furnace.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Do you want to do some card pulls?
Sure.
You guys ready?
Is everybody ready for a card pull?
I know one of these ladies is. She kept asking.
Okay. Well, she can, and if you want to send a specific question, Nicole and I will take turns pulling cards
I'm
for
going
a
to do
specific question.
Oracle. I'm going to do Oracle.
Yep. And I'm going
And
to
yours are
do
tarot, right?
traditional homemade tarot.
Okay.
So
We'll
yeah.
do 2 or 3 minutes each, something like that.
Yeah. Well, if we're only doing one card, I mean, it's, you know, yeah. I mean, usually it only takes us a minute or two to explain what's going on. So, of course, if somebody wants to get a little more detailed, let me know.
Okay. So I know you do private readings. So if anybody wants to contact
I
you,
do.
you can, I don't know if you can type your email in. I don't know if you can type the comments in, but I can type it. I do mediumship and oracle and spiritual guidance readings. We have a gallery Sunday night where you'll get a fuller spread, guaranteed reading. It's only $15. It's going to be 20 or less people. So that's what's happening. Please sign up. It's on my website.
You can't beat that price
No,
because we usually charge triple that. And I will give a full 10 card spread to
I,
anyone who wants to join the gallery for that time. Yeah.
I give a
Very
3 card.
detailed.
My private 20-minute readings are $25. So, and that's just a simple 3 card pull. So,
Yeah. Yeah. It's
um,
going to be
all right.
exciting.
Yeah, Constance Quinn is here.
Connie,
Hello.
what is up, girl?
I'm going to go through the list and make a list. All right.
Oh, Connie knows you too. Did you
Yeah,
ever, you got to meet her, right?
not in person,
Oh,
but
you never met in person? I
on
thought
the
you did, Connie.
phone.
Okay. I thought you got together in San Francisco one time, but I can't remember how.
Oh, we did.
Did you get together in San
Yes.
Francisco?
Yes. God, that was so long ago.
Who'd have thunk that she would be here again?
That's so crazy.
That's so
All right,
amazing.
I'm just writing everyone's name down and then we'll go through. Jill is first if you want to go first while I write the names down.
Sure. And if Jill, if you have a question specifically and you need like a quick, short answer, if you want to type that in, I'm happy to tailor
Oh,
that
she
answer.
said, am I on the right path to open to spirit? Oh, funny you should mention that. I have a mentorship class starting tomorrow night.
Yes, that's right. And for all of those, I don't know if everyone knows who you are, Nick, yet, or if we have some new people, or if you have your regulars here. Nick is amazing. She's a wonderful teacher. She's spent years teaching, and now she's added this extra flair of intuition and guidance. And I've known you how long? 30 years?
Over that, because I've been
Over
married
30
30
years.
years. Yeah.
Super
30,
talented, this woman.
91-ish,
Yeah.
91-ish.
Yep.
So
Yeah. And her
35.
classes are going to be invaluable. She's going to pack a lot of information in there. My husband will be joining that class. He's developing his media. He's got the tarot reading talents too, and a paranormal investigator and all that good stuff. But he wants to be a medium too. And everyone who has a brain and who is human can learn these things. I know.
Yes.
And even if you find yourself as a type A personality that's very technical minded, you can learn all of these little tips and tricks on how to be psychic and tune in. Trust me, it's just a matter of giving it the time and the energy. Okay, so Jill's question specifically was,
Oh boy. I have to go back and there's a lot of comments.
am I something about am I on the right path spiritually? Was that the
Oh,
question?
should she start her spiritual path, her journey, her spirit,
Okay.
like tuning into spirit?
And how many times would she like me to shuffle the cards?
Let her know. Nick is gifted. I have
Oh,
heard
she's for
spirits.
spirits.
That's called
Yes.
clairaudience,
Yep.
which you will learn about tomorrow night.
Yep. I get audience and I get smells. Those are my two top receiving. So how many would she like?
We will see. She
3.
just said
Okay.
yes.
3. All right.
3. Okay. You're getting the comments before me.
Well, that's because I'm on the bottom. It's easier.
And so soulsandspirits@gmail.
Actually, it's Souls and Spirits at Yahoo. Sorry, Souls and Spirits at Yahoo. And you can go to soulsandspirits.com. I also make handmade Wiccan wands, which are amazing.
They are. I've seen
You
them.
get to
They're
pick your
beautiful.
color. Yeah, you get to pick your color, your handle, all of it, and it's a great little package. So if you want to pop on there, if you feel like you want to work some magic with a wand, you can use it for everything. Okay, I'm going to pull your card. Oh my God, I love this this one. Okay, contentment.
Oh, so
Definitely on the
beautiful.
right path. So on the right path. And the only way, honestly, to contentment is to literally be in a state of contentment as much as possible. So much will come to you if you remove the stressors and the fears and the layers of insecurity and lack of confidence and all the stuff that our ego convinces us that we are when we are not, because we are nothing but spirit and love. And so remembering this image, which is just that swirling protection of joy, will totally keep you going on the right path and growing on that path as well. You can never stop growing spiritually, no matter where you are in your teachings. As far as Nick is, she's always learning. I'm always learning new things about being a human and how to be a better human. So definitely keep up the good work. It's amazing, and you have great, calming, wonderful things ahead for you.
And I'll say, she said, only right after they die do I hear them. Well, that means you have the ability to hear
That's
them. And
right.
if you practice and develop, you will be able to hear them anytime you want. I mean,
Yes.
you have to have boundaries, but anytime you want. Yes.
Yes.
Um,
Amazing.
I pinned soulsandspirits@yahoo.com at the top.
Okay.
I
Thank
know I
you.
froze. I had to turn off, my son started texting me. I had to turn off my
Uh-oh.
Zoom delay. He's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Dawn, I was shuffling and a card popped out. You probably saw me bend over to grab it because it fell on the floor, as they do. So if you are here, let me know. And then we have Dawn, Trent, Melody, Lori, Diana, Vonnie, Glenda, Connie, Sammy, and Eileen.
Oh, Connie wants a card pull.
I just put her
Cool.
on the list.
I totally want to pull Connie's card. You have to give me that one.
Okay. Okay. Dawn, if you're here still, it is time to act.
Nice.
We love you too, Jill. We love you too. You don't have to know everything in advance. Take the first step and watch it all unfold. You can deal with whatever your path reveals. You are ready. So whatever you are asking yourself about, should I do this new job? Should I start this new career? Should I move to this new place? Should I end or start a relationship? Should I get rid of this friend who's dragging me down? Whatever it is, it's time to act. And it could just be putting new floors in your house that you need. Whatever it is for you, it's time to act. Part of our fear is that keeps us from acting is fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of what's everybody gonna think? My family's gonna think this. Doesn't matter. You don't have to care what everybody thinks all the time, because everybody you know is judging you, whether they know it or not, in one way or the other. Everybody's got something to say. Everybody's projecting their crap onto you. And you don't have to know everything in advance. Just as long as you are safe and your loved ones are safe, nobody's in harm's way, everything's positive, it's time to act. Oh, yay. There you go. Look how pretty. Climb that mountain, girl, up to the light at the top. Thank you, darling. That was for Dawn. Next is Trent. Trent
Nice.
said, and my question is, where will there be healing soon with a very important person in my life? 6 times.
All right. That goes to me.
Yep. And Melody, you're next for me.
Is Suzanne Lynn on tonight?
I have not noticed a
I
Suzanne.
thought I saw a Suzanne. Just
Oh, yeah. I see her. She just commented a minute or two ago. Hi,
That's
Suzanne.
my girl.
Oh, hi, Suzanne. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Is that your Perry friend?
Yes.
I
My
saw your
BFF.
Paris pictures are beautiful.
It was so fabulous. My BFF is from childhood. I told her to tune in tonight because, it just might be a nice end of the day. She's had a rough day, and we're going to bring her some enlightenment.
Awesome. Do you want me to
Okay.
put her on the list?
Yes.
Suzanne.
All right. This is for Trent. Oops, okay. Deceit. Okay, now, don't be scared by the card. This just means that there could be a situation in need of a second opinion. You may need to do some research. You may need to, just go dig a little deeper for answers for your situation that needs healing or extra healing. Somebody maybe might not have full information, or, someone could be withholding information from you to go to the next level for the healing situation. So, and also just, you want to be able to come clean with everybody involved, medications, make sure all that's good to go, that there is no mistakes being made, that kind of thing. So just be very careful that you dot all the I's, cross all the T's, and make sure that everyone's being straight with you on everything that you can do to fix your situation. Once you dig further into that, I don't have a definitive answer of where it's going to go, but once you do the deep dive, there will be helpful information that will be revealed. So that is how I feel like Trent's situation is going to turn out. So just hang in there and just do a deep dive yourself and make sure everybody's being straight with you about everything, and that there's absolutely everything being done in the situation to help it. Oh, I can't hear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I had myself muted because I was getting my
cough drop. Okay,
yes.
great. Okay.
All right. All right. Melody said, "Am I on the correct path?" Let me get my chair's wonky. I saw Serena pop in. Hi, honey. Serena was one of my students, and she's on a path. And when I gave her a card last time, the other day, it was the butterfly, which couldn't be more
Oh,
appropriate.
I love
Yeah.
that. You're welcome,
The
Trent. Hang in there.
metamorphosis.
Hang
Did
in
that
there,
answer
Trent.
your question, Trent? I want to
Or
know.
if
All right.
he even suspects that there might be somebody withholding information, he's got to look into it to get to the bottom of the progression of that situation.
It doesn't always have to be something negative either.
Exactly.
It can
It could
be
just be an
something
oversight.
benign.
Yeah, an oversight, whatever. Yeah.
All right, Melody, card for Melody. I always set an intention, just like Lise does. Oh, Melody, your life you must be on the correct path. There's no,
I'm just still out.
oh, a new chapter. I know it's backwards.
Oh.
A new chapter. So this doesn't mean you have to change the path you're on. This could mean it's a new path in the direction you're already going. Okay. So whenever we pull cards, I could pull this card for 100 people, and it means something a little bit different because every single human is on a different path.
Mm-hmm.
So don't take this as you have to quit your job, move to an estate, enter a relationship, and start a whole new chapter. That's not what it means. It can be you're about to start something new, or there's a new part of what you're already doing opening up. Okay. When things seem to be falling apart, be aware that things may be coming together in new ways that suit the next phase of your life even better. So, whatever you are working on, whatever you are working towards, whatever new thing, whatever new path, this is the key to say it's okay if you're having a hard time. It's okay if things look bleak. You have to keep your head on your shoulders solidly and keep it together. Get through every day with as much grace and patience, because sometimes it takes a long time for things to pan out. But as long as things are moving forward in the way of progress, not perfection, everything doesn't have to be perfect every day. Sometimes this much progress is good. Right? You can go forward, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but as long as you go 2 steps forward the next day, it's still progress. Now, if you're going 2 steps back every day and whatever this is, that's the universe saying that comes to an end. That comes to an end. So if the door seems to be open, even if it's a little bit, and you're going forward, even if it's a little bit, stay on that path. If it shuts, get rid of that thing and go to whatever, a new thing. Let me know if that makes sense, Melody.
And it's also important to note that this is a feeling
Lori's
universe.
next for Lise.
Okay.
So Lori, good.
It's a feeling universe, and we all were born with the intuition of, understanding what feels good, what feels right, what feels safe, what doesn't, right? So when we pay attention to those feelings, that's what keeps us alive, right? And it's so important to be able to just be open to sensing that. I live near New York City. I lived in New York City for a long time. I'm just outside of New York City now. But when I walk by people, your heart can sense other people's energy from 50 feet away.
Yeah.
And so if you're walking through a big city or a crowd, you're feeling so many different things if you're paying attention.
Yes.
Right. So, we're usually walking around with our, face in our phones. And when we are not doing that and moving through life and actually looking and paying attention and watching, we can be an angel for somebody. We can meet a new friend. We can tell when someone's hurting and needs us as an angel, as a stranger to stranger. Like, it's pretty amazing. So keep that intuition open. It's a super special gift that you can give anyone for free and receive.
We all and I was actually talking to my husband about this yesterday or today. All of us have intuition. We are animals, whether you want to realize it or not.
Mm-hmm.
We have those animal instincts in us. We're born with them.
Yeah.
We unlearn them because of our society.
Yeah.
Our society causes us to unlearn them.
Absolutely.
So pay attention. And then Jill said, are you doing tarot readings every Sunday? This gallery is just this Sunday, but we will probably do it maybe monthly or so, depending on how many people sign up. If there's not a big turnout, then we're going to shift gears and do something else. So, Lori said divorce final 5 times.
Okay,
Hi, Cherie.
so
Hi, Trent. Okay.
I have shuffled the deck, and I have this card here, understanding. When there's a card like this, it doesn't necessarily mean one direction or another. It means that a little more work has to be put in to finalize a final decision like that. So you shouldn't rush into anything on both sides. Maybe continue communication before such a decision is made. It's, if I had gotten a justice card or well, anything that was a more clear ending to something for me, then I would say, oh, yes or no to that. But because it's the card is what it is, again, just like being open to really exploring every option that's presented itself before you make a decision. I would say, just if you're in a pickle or on a fence or waiting for the final knockdown, I would say to just take a little more time to make sure that this is the right thing for all, and that everybody will be okay, and in full, transparent acknowledgement of all the problems, the good things, the bad, everything mixed in, that it is solid in your mind, that before you actually seal that deal. So just take a little bit more time before you jump on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Smart. Trent, for me, Diana's next. Diana, let me know if you're still here. Trent said, I'm not sure about her reading that you gave. I just want healing and reconnection with my daughter. She's estranged over 2 years. So that's interesting that the deception card came up.
Yeah.
We could really dig into that.
Yeah, we should dig into that. Yeah. Well, I mean, Trent actually would have to dig into that, but again, like, explore all avenues of transparency, make sure you get the full story on everything is basically, yeah.
And sometimes it's hard for us to accept responsibility for our part in any relationship with our kids. I have adult kids. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I messed that up bad. I mean, we've all made mistakes.
Yeah.
And lucky for me, I taught my kids to be like me and say what's on their mind, whether I like it or not. Hopefully, respectfully, not always. But at least they tell me how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd rather be told how I feel, how they feel, than not know and become estranged. I'd rather get my heart broken a little bit now and have them say, you did this or that, and then think, did I really do that?
Yeah.
Instead of have communication breakdown. I'm Italian. We be yelling and stuff. Um,
And everybody's method of operation is different, right? Some people
yep,
default to just telling you the truth straight out, and some people default to I can't say what I
yeah,
really mean.
yep,
So, unfortunately, most situations in relationships are not fully transparent. I'm one of those signs that I wear everything right here. You'll know how I'm feeling about everything at all times. I don't hide a thing. I can't carry secrets. They make me sick.
me too.
Um, and even kind honesty is still more important, than deceiving somebody. So
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's so hard. So but most people don't mo that way, because our ego is involved in every decision we make every day, and we have to literally tell it to shut up and calm down you
yeah.
know
And Trent said she's owned her own faults. Yeah, I know you well enough to understand that. But she's blocked you because she's not ready.
mm,
She's not ready to hear it. She's not ready. And sometimes people live in this anger, especially if she's in her 20s. That's the angsty, I hate my parents, they caused all my problems years. So you just have to give it time. Like she needs somebody to blame for the way she feels. And eventually she'll realize she has to take responsibility for how she feels and
yeah,
change it.
yeah,
Because she can't live that way I mean, she could live that way forever. I do know people who have lived that way forever, but hopefully she will grow out of that. I will send good prayers and energy for you. All right, Diana, when I was shuffling, when I was waiting to hear, I have a card here that fell out. She said, I'd like to know if my living situation is and mate is good. So energetic pull is the card. So you have your energy is being pulled in one direction or the other. So you already know the answer to this. I instinctively feel that you know what you need to do one way or the other. You just have to take the steps to do it, whatever that is. It says a true master knows that you create through your actions. Do not hesitate when you feel the energy pulling you. Follow it fearlessly and move worlds. So you know what the energy is saying. You feel it, just like we were talking about animal intuition earlier, animal instincts a few minutes ago. We know, should I leave this situation? Something's weird about
y-
it. I need to go.
yep,
Or should I stay in this situation because of this reason, that reason, this reason, that reason? So you know the answer. Follow your instincts and your energetic pull. See, she's looking up at the light. Okay, I hope that helps. And these are just short versions. Vani is next for Lise. Vani, how many shuffles and what's your question? These are just short card pulls. Now, if you come to the gallery Sunday, there will be bigger spreads, much more details, much more in depth. Um, Vani. Hi, Dina. Um, Cherie said, what is the most important lesson I need to learn? Okay, are you on the list? I can put you on the list. Let me put you on the list. You'll have to type that again later. I don't see Vani popping in. If Vani's not still here, Glenda is next. Vani or Glenda. It's okay, Carol. I'll put the replay on YouTube. So I remember. Oh, Vani. Vani's here.
there she is. Okay.
3 shuffles, healing hurt And Glenda will be next for me. If Glenda's here, let me know.
Healing hurt. So is she asking a question or is she making a statement on how to fix that situation?
I'll let you know what she says.
Okay.
All right, Glenda, you're after Vonnie. Just ask your question again, Lise.
Oh yeah, you wrote in your comment healing hurt. Can you be more specific with your question?
I'll let you know if it pops up.
Okay. I'm not pulling anything, but I have shuffled 3 times, so.
You know what's shocking tonight? The comments are coming in so quick, and usually it's a nightmare and it takes forever for the comments to load. So we've done a lot already.
Oh, Meta is gifting us some good, easy vibing tonight. Yeah, thank you, Meta.
She said, I guess how to fix it. The healing,
Okay,
the
how
hurt.
to fix healing and hurt. Okay, here we go. Okay. Attachment.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, I love this one. So yeah, I mean, is to let it go, is to release the attachment. It's so hard because we, again, with our egos and our limited understanding of our physical environment, not being able to see the other side, not being able to feel it all the time, not being able to hear it all the time. You know, we get our messages in little bits and pieces. So it's not like it's this clear TED talk that comes in, right?
Yes.
From the spirit world. So we have to constantly let go of attachments because like you were saying earlier about everybody is going to be as they be, right? People are going to people. So as people, we as people have to also just carry on and let things go. And the quicker we let things go for the universe or your higher power or God or whatever you want to call that higher being, higher self, all-knowing thing, the quicker you let that go, the quicker the answers can come, the quicker you can heal. We lost our 19-year-old Chihuahua last March, and my husband and I, yes, and we dreaded the day since the day she was born. But when the day came, it was really hard that first day, but we worked on this every minute because the attachments we have are never really gone, especially in the next realm. And the attachments here can be healed with understanding that if we're not that we're never going to be separated, whether it's physical or spiritual, right? Like we're all in this together as a collective one. So to just understand that sometimes space doesn't mean a detachment. Mm-hmm. It just means a space to heal, and it will come back around. And you will get your heart full. But literally 3 days later, after I lost Toodles, this one came in to our life, and she's just a joy.
Like her. She looks just like her.
And her name, this one is Bailey, and Haley is the one we lost. And I asked Haley, in my griefy moment, many of them, to bring me one that I needed to rescue, that of her choosing. And then literally the next day on Next Day Pets, and there were 300,000 to pick from. Her name was Bailey, and I knew that was the one. And talk about healing and trust and being attached and being in that moment thinking I'll never love another dog again, but like, oh my gosh, she has filled the hole. And I gave it time, and I gave it space, and I realized that again, nothing ever leaves, nothing is ever really detached, but a good healthy space within your attachment can heal everything in between and have a great outcome. So just give it time, and you're going to be so okay. I promise. You're going to be so okay.
You know, she said the second time I was given this message today.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
See how the cards are?
You're going to be okay. I promise.
That's how the cards are. Yeah. They're amazing. And
oh my gosh.
Attachment is so interesting because we place attachment to things that we believe in so hard. I'm on that team and I'm not letting go of that team. I don't care. I don't like the Cowboys. I'm a Niner fan. I'm a big football person. But you know, people will hold on to those Cowboys and they haven't won anything significant in 30 years.
I tell
Like,
you.
but they're still a fan, you know,
Yeah.
and it's like we have to unattach from these belief systems that have been
And
drilled.
outcomes.
Yeah, and
Detach from
outcomes.
outcomes. And again, if you heal everything from love, from the inside out and outside in, then nothing can penetrate that.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
you
And that's the
can,
most dangerous type of person to be, not dangerous, excuse me. That's the type of person that scares others so much because
hmm
nothing can penetrate our
that's right.
shell of
That,
protection.
that's right.
We are okay.
That's right.
I am okay. Right now, I have shelter, I have food, the electricity's on. I am okay, and I don't have to worry about all this outside crap and people talking crap and the trolls on the social media saying weird stuff, whatever. Anyway, I went on a rant. Anyway, Trent said Toodle sent Bailey. Yes, yes, yes. And Vonnie said someone very important to me lies to me for the first time in 51 years. Ooh, that's rough.
So hard. I hate that. The trust that you have in something for so long. It's so devastating when you find out a big deceit. Speaking of deceit, like it's so
Yep.
hard. Because
I have, oh, go ahead.
no, but it's just it's such a healing. Again, people are gonna people, and no matter how loyal and close you are. I mean, I'm in a 20 something marriage. You're in a 20 something marriage. You know, you think you know everything about your spouse, and we mostly do, but then there's always that one little thing that we're all gonna find out that like what like because you're still a separate entity,
Yeah,
even though we're connected. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. And we could go down that road for 14 hours straight. So let's just skip right past that. I have a card for
Oh,
Glenda. And she
right.
said, I'm sure we could just do a live about relationships. We should plan one of
Oh,
those.
we should. We
We should,
have so
we
many
both
topics
have
to
been
cover.
married long enough to discuss many things.
Yeah.
Um, Life is a gift, Glenda. I hope you're still here. I know we kind of went on a little side rant there for a
Oh,
minute. Life is a gift. So she said, any messages?
oh,
Life is unfolding for you, so seize the day and make the most of every chance to be true to yourself and live life to its fullest. It's time to cut out all the noise. I want to bang my hand on the
always.
counter. It's always time to cut out the noise. And that's we were talking
So
about
true.
earlier. Turn off the news.
Yes.
Turn off anything negative. I was giving a channeled message to a client earlier from her guides, which I don't normally do. I don't do that, but there's a whole story behind it. And I channeled a page full of information before her reading even started. And one of the things was turn off the news,
Yeah.
turn off the murder shows. I didn't know this person, new client. I didn't know she watched the news first thing every morning. I didn't know she watched murder shows all night long. I didn't know any of that, but it came through in the channeled message. She's just filling her mind with all of these negative things. So limit any negativity, limit any negative media, limit any negative news, movies, TV shows, anything about bad stuff. Limit it, limit it, limit it. Get all the news you need in 5 minutes, but don't do it first thing in the morning because you're
Or
starting your day.
the first thing before you go to bed either.
Right. If you have to look, do it at lunchtime on your lunch break for 5 minutes maximum.
And also, if
But you
you
don't
do
even really
look,
have to do that.
right, and if it does affect you, just know, do not feel guilty if you start to feel bad about what you read or what you see, because you can change your thought in an instant and change your energy. We are living our lives like a live stream, like right now we're like live
Yeah.
streaming, right? So our lives are the same way. And Nicole and I, anytime can change the subject, can change the energy, the words that we're saying, just like your life, whatever path you're on. Just think of it as a live stream. Your past is already forgiven. It's gone. It's poof, and your future is yet to be decided. But in the present moment, just empower yourself knowing that no matter how you're feeling in a minute from whatever you've watched, consumed, heard, see, You can switch it right off and go right into another place.
Yeah.
Just close your eyes, do some breath work for a minute, and you are golden. You can switch it right out.
Living in the past causes us so much pain. Being afraid of the future causes us so much pain. The most important thing is being in the present moment. I cannot stress that enough. It has changed my life. We cannot change the outcome of things that happen politically in our country, on the news, the wildfires. We can't blame politicians for wildfires. I mean, it's like not their fault that the fire, it's called nature, blah, 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 blah. Or arson. The hurricanes aren't caused by governors of states. Same thing, like those are natural disasters, right? We can't control them, so we shouldn't ruminate on whose fault it is. Okay, it's nature. That's my little
Or
side
if it is,
rant.
even if it isn't
Yeah,
nature, ruminating on it doesn't change the outcome. It only changes your own thought patterns and your own feelings. Again, we're a feeling universe, right? So what we want to do, our whole goal is to like find joy and connect to love as much as possible. So whatever gets you closest to that, then far be
exactly.
it.
And
Just find that.
Connie's next if she's still on here.
Connie, are you here? Give us a sign.
Connie's next. If you want, Lise will be shuffling as many times as you want.
She's watching a crime show right
Yeah.
now.
After Connie would be Sammy, if Sammy's still on here. And then
Is Suzanne
Eileen.
still here? I wonder if Suzanne actually had to get out and go do something, so she might have disappeared for a minute.
And then Eileen, and then Suzanne. Dawn said, my husband says, how the hell can you sleep? Can you sleep after watching all that stuff? And she watches the murder shows.
I definitely cannot.
Oh no, I can't even watch. Like I've been watching the Mayfair Witches, and it scares me, and I can't watch it before bed.
Is that a comedy or a drama?
It's an Anne Rice book series that they made into a show.
Okay.
All right, Sammy's here, but I don't see Connie. Do you want to pull a card for Sammy?
Sure.
Since Connie's not here.
Sure.
How many shuffles, Sammy? And what's your question? I also watch the news while having my coffee. So yeah, turn that off.
Yep.
Glenda.
Yep.
Listen, I turned the news off 2 months ago, 2.5, almost 3 months ago now.
Suzanne's here.
Oh, Suzanne is here. Okay, perfect.
So who's up for
Sammy
the next part?
for you, Eileen for me, Suzanne for you.
Suzanne, stay here long enough to get your card reading. I've shuffled once for the person I'm up next to do, so I need to know if they want me to shuffle again or if that's good.
We're waiting for Sammy.
Yeah.
4 shuffles, and then type in your question, Sammy.
4 shuffles? Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, if I came across this gallery or just this live right now, I would be like so into it. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I get a free little mini reading. I would absolutely love that. I would totally stop and watch us. Like, and because you get these.
Ooh, she's got a good question.
These pulls, right? You get these random pulls for the world in these little gallery lives on TikTok. And it's like, well, that's not for me because he's pulling for thousands of people. So I think it's really cool that we're able to personalize this for everyone who's watching and giving us the time right now. So thank you all.
Oh, and I want to say something to everybody here. Okay. And can you see her comment? There will be a scammer on my page after this live with a similar name to mine, almost identical, saying, send me a friend request, blah, blah, blah. They do it every single time. It's not me. I'm not going to ask you to do that. Do not send anybody any money. Unless you want to book, you go to my website or email me to book a reading. That is it. I'm never going to ask you for that. Do not answer any of that.
And you will not ask money to be sent through Western Union.
Everything's in my link tree. Everything's on my website.
Yes.
That's it. And did you see her question? She said, what are my next steps on my healing journey?
Oh, okay. Are we talking, well, whether it's physical or mental, it doesn't matter because this should all be from the same place. Okay, here we go. Ta-ta!
What is
achievement?
Oh, how perfect for that question. Oh no, you're muted.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. Okay,
yeah, you're back.
I love this card. I love designing this card because I had to put into the card what I feel the idea of achievement is like literally you're standing on top of the earth going, I could do anything. I mean, anything that your higher self is capable of doing, and by again using your intuition. So yes, whatever you're choosing, um wherever that that interim purgatory that your mind is at, where where in the consideration stage, whatever you choose, use that intuition and you will achieve it. It's there. The end goal is there, so focus on that, on getting through to that final piece and taking over the world.
Yeah.
And which is also your mind and your lane and your environment, and you've got this. So this is great. This isn't even one of those questionable cards where you got to do a little work to get there, or there'll be some time. Nope. Put your mind to it. It's there. It's waiting for you. The end result is
Like
waiting
I
for you. So
always say, when you want to manifest or achieve something, set your intention, do the work, and allow yourself to receive it.
yeah.
That's the thing people forget. Most of us don't think we deserve, especially females. We've been trained we don't deserve certain things in life,
Yep.
often, especially our generation.
Yep.
Allow yourself to receive it. So set your intention to whatever your journey is, do the work, allow yourself to receive.
We were talking about that earlier about receiving gifts, and we often forget to gift
Yep.
ourselves, whatever it is. We're too busy thinking about other people. Of course, I know a lot of people that are thinking about themselves and how many more gifts they can get, but innately, it's your responsibility to take care of you and whatever little gifts you can give yourself. It's so important to recognize where those are and to grab them. Absolutely.
And my biggest gift I give myself is time alone to nap.
I love it. Napping is the best.
I have to shut everything off. I do so
Yeah.
many readings,
Yeah.
and I'm giving and giving and giving. And the best way for me to rejuvenate myself is to just turn everything off
Yep.
and just lay there. Even if I
Just
don't
be.
fall asleep,
Yeah.
just be and
Yeah.
breathe. And I know this is gonna sound super nerdy, but I have very severe insomnia, and I have my whole life since my mom passed away
Yeah.
when I was 15. And I have never been able to make myself fall asleep, like counting breaths. My husband's like, just count your breaths. And I'm like, I could count to 10 million. It's not going to make me fall asleep.
Yeah.
I started doing, don't laugh. I started doing times tables.
Okay. Whatever works.
I just started like 2 weeks
Typical
ago, and
scientist over
it
here.
knocks me right out. I'm like, I don't even get to the threes. I start with twos. I start with the twos. I
Yeah.
don't even get to the threes, and
And
I'm
then you're done.
asleep. I'm asleep.
Yeah.
So if
Absolutely.
anybody, needs a little help with insomnia, do your times tables if you're nerdy like that. Um, I don't see Eileen hasn't said anything, but I have a card here, and
Okay.
Suzanne is still here.
Oh,
So if
good.
you want to pull Suzanne's card,
Okay.
and then if anybody's here who hasn't had a card, say hi to me or something that you want a card, because I have it here, and Spirit wants whoever's going to say.
She's ready.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm over here grounding between readings with my trusty favorite crystal. By the way, Eileen
Eileen
is
is
here.
here.
Yeah.
Eileen is here. Okay.
If you
Go ahead.
can't get a hold of a crystal, everyone, believe it or not, this is what they put in computers, because this stuff holds memory and can
Absolutely.
pull negative memories from you. It is wonderful, especially wearing a crystal near the heart, near this chakra. It's fantastic. So if you can get a hold of a crystal, get one. You'd be surprised the stuff that is scientifically that's in those things that can really
Well, let me
help
tell you
cleanse.
something. A crystal the size of your thumbnail can hold the
Yes,
entire contents of the Bible.
that's right.
Yep.
No one
Right.
knows that.
Yeah.
Okay. Are
I
you going
could
to?
talk about it.
Yep.
I have a bunch of crystals that people gave me. It's on my desk here, but
Aw.
this is for Eileen. She wanted to know major changes, I'm getting tired, anxious about the future. And this is the card that fell out when I read your question and shuffled. Whatever you wish,
Aw.
whatever you wish. You do whatever you want. When you lessen the importance of problems and suffering, so you're anxious about the future, you can't control the future. You cannot control the future. lessen the importance of problems and suffering, because thinking about the future only causes problems and suffering. In this moment, are you okay? You obviously have internet access and some type of electronic device. That means you probably have a home and food and electricity. I'm just guessing, right? So right now in this moment, you're okay. So
Yeah.
concentrate on that. Life will swing back into balance. We all have ebb and flow. We have ebb and flow collectively, in family groups, in communities, in society, in countries, in regions. There's always an ebb and flow back and forth. Some days are horrible and we feel terrible. Some days are like you wake up and you jump out of bed and you're dancing around the kitchen. It's the greatest day you ever had. It's going to be different. It's going to ebb and flow. The most important thing is to get a baseline of peace and contentment in your heart and mind. A baseline. You don't want to go too high or too low. You want to have a base. So when those things that you fear may come to pass in the future, you'll be okay with it. But don't think about, oh my God, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? You'll drive yourself crazy. So whatever you wish, lessen the importance of problems and suffering. Do not think about the future. Only be present, and don't ruminate on the past. Be present. Stop the struggle and feel peace. The world responds to you. Oh, I got to go on a rant on this one. There's this thing called lucky girl syndrome. Now, this is something anybody who manifests already knows. Okay, but the hashtag is lucky girl syndrome. And there's science behind this. And it's I can't remember the part of the brain that does this because I'm not a neurologist or neuroscientist, but there's a part of your brain when you wake up in the morning and you look at the news and you see tragedy, 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 tragedy. All day, you're going to see tragedy, tragedy. Oh, terrible, suffering, awful. Okay. You're going to notice that. If you wake up and you look out your window, you see the sun is shining, the birds are chirping. Look at that hummingbird and the hummingbird feeder. Look at the butterfly landing on my windowsill. That rabbit's running around in a circle. You notice beautiful things, pleasant things. Those, if you notice 5 pleasant, beautiful things, positive things, first thing in the morning, you're going to notice pleasant
More
things
and
all day
more.
long.
Yep.
And that's lucky girl syndrome. That's what they call it, but there's real science behind it. The more you focus on the positive, the more you're going to see the positive. The more you focus on the negative, the more you're going to see the negative. And I'm not talking about toxic positivity and pretending everything's perfect. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about don't put yourself in a miserable stupor because you're worried something bad's going to happen next week. Stay in the moment. Be grateful for what you have in the moment. Make a gratitude list. I could go on and on and on, but I'm getting very tired. So Eileen, let me know. Oh, she says yes. And then Suzanne,
As my girl's
and
still
then
here.
yeah, and then that's my voice is about I can't blah, 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 blah. My brain is gone.
And the other thing along those lines is, there are so many things that we cannot control in this world: the weather, the politics, other people, their reactions, their
Their
trauma that they're putting on you,
judgments, their
their judgments,
projections.
all of it, right? So I just wrote a play about this. I talked about this in the last live that we did, that like choices are so important. If you're one of those people that just says, you know what, I'm just too lazy to make a choice, I'm just going to let life live me. Like, I'll just deal with any fate. If you literally say that, let me tell you, the fates will deal you all kinds of stuff. To be entangled with other people's lessons, you don't want that, right? You want to clear yourself for your own lessons and your own growth. And the best way to do that is to make as many positive choices that you can throughout the day, throughout the week. So when you can, and that's, and for some people that's very limited because they work an 8 to 5 job and they have kids to come home to, and there's not a lot of time to make a new choice that will be something that they're for sure going to be able to live with easily, comfortably. But even the little things, you know what? I have a choice right now. I'm going to go for a 15-minute walk. I'm going to take a nap. I have in this extra moment, I could watch something really, really uplifting, or I could watch something really gory. Little changes, little choices turn into big changes, big choices.
And you don't have to make all the changes at once.
Yes,
You can make
exactly.
one change a week.
One
Like
choice,
wake up
one change. Absolutely.
and say, look at 5 beautiful things. Like I have a beautiful crystal moon hanging there. I have a beautiful painting here. I have a
Yeah.
crystal ball. I have this cute lamp. I have my cell phone that works. You know, like 5 positive things. And then be grateful for those things.
Yes. And also, somebody just asked a question I kind of thought for a second about what kind of crystal this is. This is just a standard quartz crystal with a translucent coating. I like the colors. This brings me such peace, these colors. And it's been super, super polished and tumbled really down and beautifully shaped. So you can just look up wherever on Amazon, as long as it's 100% quartz crystal. They come in all sizes and colors now. So
yeah, I have
shapes.
clear quartz and sodalite here. My
Nice.
son and daughter-in-law bought me the Sagittarius.
Nice.
Cool. All right, so Suzanne said whatever messages you have.
Okay. We just did this recently in Paris. It was
How
fun.
do you know how many shuffles she wants?
I don't know. Let's see what she comes
How
up
many
with. I'm gonna.
shuffles, Suzanne? Less than 10 or less.
If she says 15, I will kill her. Xanadu.
She's
That's
driving but listening.
Okay. So
4.
that doesn't answer the
4.
4 figures. I already did 1. Okay. 2.
Okay, so while Lisa shuffles, we have our gallery Sunday night guaranteed readings. Abby will be there for the Sunday night gallery. Abby was in my spirit guide workshop last night. Did you make any progress on that? I had some really good progress with 2 of my students.
Wow.
That
That's awesome.
2 of them both found, one of them found 3 guides, one of them found 2. I was blown away.
Aw. Love that. Yeah, it's gonna be really fun. So if y'all can come, and I mean, you can't find a more empowering group of ladies, even though we're just 2, but everybody in the group helps everybody, you know, even though the readings are in front of everybody. All that collective loving energy, everyone ready to receive, we're ready to give. It's super empowering to be in a group of people who are so ready to exchange that energy. So it's going to be great if you come in, and it's a unique experience, and it's really affordable for the experience you're getting. Of course, if you want something more,
is it at 8:00 Sunday? That's correct, right? Let me
yeah,
double check.
and if you are into a more private reading, obviously you can book either one of us at our websites for a different type of reading, and you know, so it just it's totally up to how you feel about it.
And it's only
no
$15, and you're gonna get a reading.
Yeah, what a great deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so this card for Suzanne.
And it is at 8:00.
Rebirth. Oh. So she is gonna experience a really good new transition with new ideas. She's like me. She's a creator, and always we all get stuck, but something awesome is going to happen over the next month. That's going to just kind of take over in a good way. There'll be some old moving out, some new moving in, but it's gonna end in some awesomeness of transitioning to bigger and better things. And that's just, that's with anything. That could be in relationship wise, work wise. There's, and of course, a little warning with a rebirth coming. There'll be a little bit of rough stuff to endure, to communicate about, to sift through details in order to create that rebirth. It's like giving birth, right? You go through a little bit of pain to get to the joy of the ending. So once you get through the growing pains of the situation, then you will have this joyous new relationship with whatever it is that you are bringing into the world, whether, like I said, a new idea or a new level of your relationship. And that's super, super encouraging to hear, to see, and for you, my darling, who can always use that uplifting message. So I hope that resonates.
That's awesome. And I'm going to do one more card for Shannon. She's one of my beginner students as well. And we have class coming up next Saturday for that. I have 2 classes running, 2 different sections. So Shannon's in my February 1st class.
Cool.
I have a card already for you. And Shannon, Spirit just knocked this out because I didn't know you were here till just a second ago. And this card's sitting and I was waiting. It is no problem. And I love this because you're not meant to struggle and fight your way through. And I know you a little bit. I know you enough to know that this is going to apply to you. Drop the concerns of your ego and watch imaginary walls crumble away. You've already won. So
Yay!
you have to understand that we all struggle. We all struggle with many things. You're not meant to struggle. You're meant to be in the moment, accept and allow the positive to come in. That's my final line tonight. Accept and allow the positive things to come in. You're not meant to struggle. We shouldn't have to struggle. And trust me, I know Lise enough to know and me enough to know my life has, I mean, I was washing dishes at 14 years old for $1.25 an hour. And that
Yeah.
was a good part of my life.
Right.
So
Right.
that was a happy day in my life. So we're not meant to struggle. We may not live in a mansion. We may not have a Maserati in the driveway, but we can do small things to make our life happier and easier and more peaceful.
And here's
No
another thing
problem.
to consider is that we were talking about choices earlier, but every day is a blank slate. Our lives are a completely blank slate. And how we fill that slate, how we draw our day, our hours, our minutes is entirely up to us.
Mhm.
And it's funny because I've got a dog in my arms that just only knows living in the present moment. She doesn't
Yes.
know about the past. She doesn't carry her trauma. She may be reminded of a trauma due to a noise or a situation or whatever it is, but she's not carrying that on a daily basis. She's living in
Exactly.
the present moment and just going, life is good. And all I know is my brain resets to joy, love, unconditional joy, love, joy. And imagine if all of us humans could grasp just resetting our brains to joy, love, non-judgment, joy, love. Like as soon as you start to feel stress, nope, I'm going to just feel joy. I'm going to feel nope, I'm going to feel gratitude. Like that is amazing. And this is what our pets and our kids and our our environment and nature teaches us every day. So we should really try to hold on to that.
At 100% agree. The animals are so healing because they're in the present moment. They don't carry.
She's looking at you all. She's this one's so intuitive too, because she's thinking and she's always watching things. If something's on the TV, she's like, what's on the TV? Like she's watching you guys.
Hello.
She's just
I
it's amazing.
have had a great time. And just for everybody who's still here hanging on, watching the last few minutes, know that don't answer any scammers. They copy my page, first of all. Second of all of this is a process. This doesn't happen. You don't just wake up one morning and your life is great and you're peaceful and wonderful. This takes years to accomplish. So don't judge yourself. Small steps, small steps. Just keep moving forward.
And again, remember that even if it feels like a long road, well, we don't know how long the road is because we're walking on a windy road every day. We all have a finite amount of time. And again, if we just stay in the present moment, and make choices and just remember that all that matters is that we're living and breathing. Nothing else matters. A minute at a time. Then if we stay
and it could
there,
be gone.
we could be gone.
Yep.
Yeah. So what matters is literally just like the dog's brain. The dog's brain only knows here and now. That's it.
What, Bailey's got a fan club. You should teach her how to pull cards.
I know. She's such a lovey bird. Oh my gosh. She's a great traveler too.
Lise, I've had an absolutely fantastic time. Soulsandspirits.com for Lise, Peaceful Nick the Medium for me. If you want to join that gallery, you can book it on my website. I've had a great time. I'm tired though. I hope to see you all Sunday night.
Thank you all for tuning in. I hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you.
Have a
Good night.
blessed day and weekend.
Bye. Talk soon.
Okay.